Hello again. So in the previous video, we had a look at the usages of API package deployment and the basic flow. And in this video, I want to share with you really all the advanced information, and you then know what to do in various situations. We would go on the order of all these package retrieve, the component adjustment and deployment more in detail, and I will show everything what can be just modified and so on. Unfortunately, I cannot really prepare some list of things to do, but you can find it in the timelines and have a look what we're gonna discuss. So getting back to our deployment, and the first thing is the way to create a package by your own or not by your own. As you saw from the previous example, we have created a change set on the partial environment and retrieve it for delivery to production. But here it can be not the only way. So first way is like that, of course. Then the second way would be to create this folder by your own, of course, because you can totally combine as you want all these folders, all the package.xml you can modify as well, and you can just combine it as you want, but I'm not usually using this option, only for destructive changes to delete the files, but this is, we will get back to this later. So usually I'm not collecting everything programmatically here, I'm not writing it, instead I'm using some UI first and then retrieve it and so on. Another option can be that you have some package.xml and you can retrieve your metadata via Workbench again. Let's, I believe here we are on the production, that's right. Okay, let's log out and log into production again. Oh, sorry, not to production. Yeah, that was production. To the partial. And this is sandbox, because there we have all the components, because in the previous video we didn't really deploy the stuff to production due to unit tests. Yeah, and here again, migration retrieve. And you see there is an option which we didn't use before, unpackaged manifest. If you are choosing here just the file package.xml, you will get all your stuff that you need. So these two options are just one or another. You are either specifying package.xml name. Explode. You're either specifying package.xml name, or you will specify the name of the inbound or outbound change sets. It doesn't matter, but something one of it. And here then signal package, I'm usually marking this checkbox. If you don't mark it, it will just retrieve it more not as zip file as that you can deploy. So I always mark it. And then retrieve. And a few seconds and download. And here is the zip archive that was retrieved right now. And you can see that here you have all the stuff that you wanted, which is good because, for example, you want to, to retrieve some stuff, I don't know, just by field name, by API name, and you just specify it here and retrieve. And another thing which was important, but I was saying that, but I will repeat again, here you should use the name without spaces, otherwise it will not work. So as well as when you're retrieving change sets, the name would be outbound change sets, this name should be without spaces. With spaces it will not work. Okay? And getting back to this retrieve of the package.xml, first you will not really know how to correctly write all this name inside, because as well here, if I remember correctly, the case is important. So either big or small letters. It is important. And yeah, you're not knowing from the beginning everything. That's why here is a very useful link. Yeah, this one. I will leave it in the description of the video. And so here you can find an example of package.xml with all the metadata that can be. You see how big it is? So here you can find out what is the name like for classes. You cannot write just class, you should write fx class. This is important, this is a must. Yeah, then custom field will be like custom field, and so on and so on. Also here in this file you can check like if you want to deploy something or retrieve and you are not sure if this is deployable. If this type of metadata will be here, then this is deployable. Yeah. So like, for example, I don't know, interesting thing is standard value set, translation. Now there is also standard value set. Okay. Global value set. But standard value set also there is. Okay, that's something custom probably doesn't contain some stuff. But still, yeah, so you can check here the naming of the stuff. And if we are, yeah, we can do the same. So let's just create our own file. Text, so package XML. XML, I don't know. Okay, it's not. How to show the extension? Here it is. Yeah. So I want XML. Yeah, and it's for now empty, and I'm just copying everything and would adjust the version at the end, because currently for the moment that I'm recording the video there is 49 version available, so it's the freshest. And yeah, saving, and again let's do the retrieve. It was here, and yeah, this one will take a little bit more because now I want to retrieve really all the seconds from the org. I have this training org just really empty, so it will be rather quick. But if you're working, okay, when you're working on some project with really lots of settings, lots of metadata, then of course it can take several minutes, yeah, to 10 minutes and so on. So yeah, here it is, and let's have a look what is there. This one, yeah, you see how many stuff. So the applications, the communities, I have community, okay, remote site settings, yeah, I don't know, sharing rules. So everything really, and this is also another way of learning Salesforce metadata from this inside, like developer, you know. So this is like source of truth, local version, you see the files and you really know what's written. And some important things, I believe we've discussed it before, but still I will repeat. So when you are adding some profile in the change sets, you think, okay, I'm just adding profile and adding some access to my classes or to my objects and so on. But instead, on the retrieve of such stuff, you can check what you are going to deploy, and usually there are always deployable also like user access. No, user permissions, yeah, are being retrieved. Then IP restrictions, yeah, so you can theoretically a little bit restrict your next environment if you had some custom restrictions on your network. And yeah, so and so on. And now we retrieve the whole profile, and you can see that also there are restricted, there are retrieved like application stuff, page layouts assignments, visibility to various objects. I think there will be as well. No? Yeah, there should be. yeah, field permissions, yeah, and so on. So visibility of the page layout assignments, yeah, object permissions, see, create, edit, delete, read, yeah, so all the stuff. So you can really learn Salesforce by reading these files. All right, let's get further. That were all the ways of the retrieve. Then, yeah, let's discuss the package XML. Yeah. Here, as you can see, so this XML which we retrieved. Oh no, that was wrong one. This XML contains asterisks. This means that all members that can be. If you have seen in our previous package, where it was here, we had some concrete names. Both versions will work. Yeah. So if you want all, you are just specify an asterisk. And additional secrets, let's say. Normally you cannot you cannot retrieve standard fields even like that, even like specifying them all asterisk. You cannot retrieve like, I don't know, account status or lead status. Account status, do we have that? So lead status, yeah. Even if we are having objects all, but the thing is that here you can see custom object, but if you are writing here, so if you have a situation that you need at custom field, but if you have a situation that you need to retrieve also some standard field and, I don't know, redeploy, or normally you don't need that, but sometimes I really have these situations, yeah, I cannot really remember what it was, but I needed to deploy that. So some adjustments in the big list probably. And here I would write that custom metadata. Yeah, so for example, you can use asterisk as well, like that, like that. And additionally, you can use exactly the naming of the stuff, so like lead status. So like that, yeah, and you can list whatever you need and it will be retrieved additional, because this is not all this standard stuff is not really included to this asterisk, but instead here you can reference it more obviously and it will retrieve these for you. This is very big advantage. Let's get back to the point, how do we modify our package for deleting the files, the metadata. Here I would just go to the documentation because on this computer I don't have examples, so we'll take it from there. So destructive changes. Yeah, where is our good documentation? Okay, over here, this one. I really prefer the standard documentation, yeah, on these topics because they are totally perfect. And yeah, here is this thing. If we add the file named destructive changes XML, it will delete some stuff for us. So let's create a new one, text editor, okay, that will name it like that. And here we are adding, yeah, some stuff like that. So yeah, you see we are mentioning custom object here, but it can be Apex class, it can be yeah, fields, validation rules, workflows, flows, whatever. Yeah, so you can also like that before you're just modifying this file and yeah, listing the stuff that we need. For example, yeah, for Apex class it would be like that, yeah. So I will delete, for example, this one, yeah, and so on. Yeah, if you are now preparing, so do you remember into this zip we were putting all these folders and package.xml. And now if we put all this stuff to a zip file, like version 1 with destructive changes, then yeah, they can be deleted as well. Then if we have a second look at the documentation, you will see that by default they are deleted before, right? By default, deletions are processed before component additions. And this means that if you're adding this file named like that, it will be processed before, which can fail some your deployment, like if you're deleting some class and in your deployment you are removing its usages, then that class cannot be deleted earlier than you remove all the usages, yeah? So quite logically. In this case, you would want to delete this class after, yeah? So first like deploy and compile all your new classes and then add to this compilation, yeah, let's say deletion. So for you it happens everything in the same moment within the same deployment, but for the system, for Salesforce, it will be like, yeah, more, this deletion will be just after. And in this case you are just naming the files a little bit different. Now you can specify two files, destructive changes post. So exactly for the situation that I described here. And if you still need to delete something before, then you're specifying a second file, destructive changes pre. Yeah, so we can just have a look how it will look. And yeah, that would be your archive to delete pre and post. Yeah, so this is the first archive, zip archive, and this is the second one. Yeah, so I will not demonstrate it now, but it will work, so all the further flow just like before. Then let's talk about the deployment point. So here, yeah, what is here exactly can be. So here, I believe only zip file. Yeah, okay, only zip file can be here. So as we did before, you're just loading here your zip file and it will be taken. Then, as I said, in fact, there is not that much for me to tell you. I'm always setting these two, rollback on error and single package, and check only in case you need to do just validation. So for example, against the production, you are doing this check only, it runs the validation, and then you are still continuing like with changes. I mean, if this validation will be working, will be passed, then you can you can quickly deploy your changes within some short time. I forgot what is that, like a week or something. So you can still click this button and it will be deployed. Yeah, all the rest like with change sets. Okay, and here is test level. So here we don't have this default org test level, which would check if you are on sandbox on production. Here you are choosing just by yourself, either no test running or local tests or all tests or some specified tests. Of course, the coverage still should be covering your changes if you're talking about production. I mean, you can deploy to production without running local tests, for example. Yeah, so all is the same. And if specified tests, then here you're just writing them within with comma separated, and this will work. Then, then important thing, on every org you have some inbound change sets and waiting for your deployment and so on. If you open it, you would have these buttons, deploy or validate and so on. The tricky thing is that here you can perform deployment from another user. If you are, for example, on some rather high org, then your user probably will not have all the rights to run the tests properly. I mean, there really can be errors depending on profile, depends on how the tests are written. And in this case, you can go to all users, yeah, and just do login as. Alright, again, not here, but here is normally would be like a link or button on the user login as when you're checking your behavior on the org from some concrete user, so you can do the same and log into your system admin if you have enough rights, and then run the validation or even deployment within that user. This is something what you cannot do via Workbench at all. So you are logged in with your real credentials, yeah, and this is it. No login as will work. That sometimes can be, yes, such point where this is not enough for you. But anyway, and then yeah, regarding deployment is zip archive. Yeah, another difference that I have faced during my experience that Workbench has some limit on the size of the files. So on one of my projects we had very big static resources which were containing all this, you know, UI stuff like big CSS files, big JS files and different frameworks. So all this UI packed into zip archive and being put into static resource. So, and if we wanted to deploy it together with plenty of other, you know, stuff, Workbench couldn't load the file because it was just literally too big. I don't know the restriction. It's not really written there, I believe. Yeah, it's not written the restriction, but still it can be there. So in this case, we were separating that deployment into two pieces again. So we created change set for deliver just this huge static resources, and then package deployment for all the rest. But generally, package deployment, so it can handle really plenty of classes, plenty of everything. So normally, don't be worried, and I'm pretty sure that you will deliver everything. But just know about such situation that it can be. Yeah. And another one really, I don't know, secret thing, very tasty optimization. We can say it like that. The point is that if you are deploying via Workbench some package and it will be successfully deployed to your destination org, and if you have already created empty outbound change set, then all that package information will be automatically added to your new change set. Feeling it? So now let me show it to you, and we will, yeah, just really have a look on one previous stuff. So let me delete this destructive stuff, and yeah, here I will create a new name. So test change set. CS is a short name for the change sets, and like 2609. No, September. It's September. Yeah. Now this is the name of the package or change set will be. So this is the name. Here also, by the way, can be description, but it's not really needed because it won't be visible there. So yeah, and I have package. You saw that I modified that name, and I have now on my destination org a new outbound change set with the same name. Again, it should be without spaces, always. And we are on partial. That's good. And did I add this? No, I haven't. So let's put it to a zip archive. So version 4. I'm really getting lost in all these versions. And now, where was that? Here it is. Not validation and no tests because we are deploying to sandbox, so no need, and they won't pass. So deploy, they won't pass because if you saw the previous video, you will know the reasons. So, okay, and now here, if we open internal deployment status, let's just a little bit monitor it. Okay, probably that was it. Yeah, okay, success true. The package is really tiny, that's why it's so quickly deployed, but normally it would take a little bit more time, especially when the org is already full of the stuff, because the system needs to compile all the metadata and again check it against the existing stuff and so on. But here, so do you see that was our change set that we've created? It was totally empty. This is important. No any component, no profile, nothing. Description can be, but I don't know if it will be written. Anyway, let's duplicate, and here will be the magic. Hey, yeah. So now you can see here 9 components, so exactly what we were deploying, and yeah. This trick is very used if you are using on the projects these change set deployments and you are delivering from org to org, you know, like from your dev org to your integration, then to your UAT, and then to production, yeah. If you have there around already 50 components, yeah, you don't really want to recollect them every time. This is just wasting time. And then you can use this trick. And this, by the way, will not work with change set deployments. Yeah. So that were all my secrets for this video. And yeah, hope it was helpful. See you.